This has endless possibilities for connections, for relationships, for joyful interaction. It's building community.
IN2L has had like this permeating impact throughout the community. It's really helped to shape the way that we deliver care that's dignified and that provides a solution to people without the use of medications.
It's never too late. It's simply a tool that through a customized interface and a very easy to use way to individualize a computer, you're able to touch your way to whatever is meaningful for you and wherever you are physically or cognitively.
One icon leads to 10 icons that leads to another 10 icons, and those icons all represent an aspect that the staff can utilize with residents. So it decreases their programming time, their planning, and they can be more spontaneous because it's led by residents' interests.
We recently found out that one of our residents speaks German from the IN2L, and since then we've started to implement a German beginner tutor class where he is going to teach us German. So he's been here for quite a while, and that was something that we never knew before.
My favorite program is the conductor size. They have their straws in their hands and they exercise to the conductor. And we have several that were professional musicians, so they can really connect with that, and they will lead that music, and they've got their arms going and their expressions are there. It's heartwarming to watch it.
We have a resident who tried video conference call for the first time, or Skyping, and she was actually talking to someone who was based out of Glendale, which is her hometown, and so she kept asking a couple times, "Now where are you?" And it seemed to kind of blow her mind that she was talking to someone on camera that was all the way in Southern California. And she has a granddaughter who lives in San Diego, and will be Skyping during her wedding.
We expanded our memory care program, which is called Summer House. The energy of the whole area of Summer House has changed. And when you walk in, you can feel the energy and you can see that there is always something happening. Residents that used to stay in their rooms now come out and specifically ask to do a puzzle, and some of them are doing the puzzles together.
The largest change I've seen in the residents since we've been working with the IN2L is their engagement. It brings them out of their rooms. The infectiousness of the communication that starts to happen in the unit is really amazing. It will draw them in, it will draw them out, they'll speak more, they'll laugh more.
IN2L helps the lower functioning residents by providing a lot of sensory, multi-sensory stimulation. You can use it to provide visual sensory stimulation for the residents. We have some residents, you can see their eyes tracking the movement in the different videos. The laughing babies provides laughter for our lower functioning residents, and you can see them really enjoying and lighting up inside.
Ruth, when I first started going into her summer house, was very recluse, not interacting with other residents. Since IN2L has been implemented, she started using the screen, so she's been more open. And most recently, she's helped other residents use it. We never saw that in Ruth, but now, beyond that, she's so gregarious and happy now when you see her.
I have a resident who is a former pastor, and with IN2L we're able to explore things like Bible trivia and Bible stories, and he's able to tap into those long-term memories of the biblical stories that he told so many times over.
We have one resident who was a classical pianist, and he actually brought his own keyboard in when he first moved into the community. But he'd get really frustrated. He'd play a few notes, it would be wrong, he'd get upset with it, and he'd just stop playing completely. But he goes to the IN2L and he pulls up their keyboard. And their keyboard, he can play a few lines and then it plays it back. Or if he makes a mistake, he can erase it back to where he was correct and continue from there. So it gives him that ability to make a mistake and not have it frustrate him and depress him not into playing. He now will go in and play several lines, and it'll be perfect because he's had that ability to practice it without frustration. And it's wonderful to listen to him.
The families are really responsive to the IN2L. Since it's come in, it's a conversation piece that we can begin with the families, and it allows connection with their loved ones here at Sunnyview.
When we looked at how we could measure the impact of It's Never Too Late on a community and on an individual level, we used pre- and post-intervention surveys that measured anxiety and mood levels. And we found that the difference from when they were first introduced to IN2L to afterwards, the rise in social engagement and the reduction in anxiety were just completely off the charts. And we found like tremendous outcome, like elevated moods, like social engagement. People were a lot more open, and they tend to smile a lot more.
We could significantly see increased number of minutes for standing tolerance. We could see increased focus for our memory care patients. We noticed that there was increased therapy time as compared to number of minutes provided during therapy.
The key to making IN2L work for the complete unit is training the staff and training the residents. They all need to have the ability to just walk up and use it. When you have a resident in the evening who's struggling a little, they're not sleeping well, that staff member has to be able to bring them over, say, let's work on this. Let's visit the aquarium. Let's touch the koi pond and watch the ripples.
So it's a conversation with our co-workers of what's new, what did you try over on your side that we can try on our side, and we've even worked out that we might have our Skypey moments where we can share just via the care center and summer house.
It's not until you actually get hands-on with the unit and you start exploring by yourself or with the residents and you find out all of the capabilities that it has, and it's really changed the way we do activity programming as a whole at Sunnyview.
The more we discussed how we would utilize it, where it would be placed, the anticipation grew, and finally on the day where we had training and it was up and running, you know, I looked around to the audience of staff and residents, and you can see light bulbs going off.